Hello, this is Teacher Jeannie again, and I'm going to be talking about wild animals in our backyard. Right now, we have a doe that lives around our area for about 5 years. And last year she had 3 fawns, but what's really sad is only one of them survived. And she knows it's safe in our property because we have 3 dogs on our back deck that they bark whenever a predator comes. So whenever a coyote comes or anything like that, they bark. And so she just stops, she looks around, and she just slowly walks away. I've also talked about my dogs, telling them that this is Mommy Deer. You gotta be nice to Mommy Deer. And Mommy Deer knows exactly my voice, and so she quiets down when she listens. And Mommy Deer has a fawn, and when there's danger, she communicates to her fawn to stay still. So while she runs away, hopefully, whenever there's danger, just like a dog, it will chase the doe and not the baby that is frozen in place. And so Mommy Deer also likes our yard because we have several fruit trees, and so she'll eat the fruit when it drops on the ground. And the type of deer that we have is called a mule deer. And the reason it's called a mule deer because of its type of ears. And one item of interest is that worldwide we have 60 different types of deer, which I didn't realize. And the mule deer can weigh up to 130 to 280 pounds, and that would be the buck, including his heavy rack. And usually the heavier buck is the one that I mentioned and he has the better vision than also humans, and he can see danger up to 600 feet away. Also, the male can run up to 45 miles per hour, while a doe can give birth to 1 to 4 fawns in the spring. One time we had three little babies that was born to our mom, but only one of them ended up staying, which was really sad, but at least she had one. Another interesting animal we have living in the corner of our properties, we have a fox family. And the fox family has a den under a large pile of blackberry bushes, and they only venture out at night. And one early evening, our dogs were barking, and I looked out the window and I saw the fox. It had a huge bushy tail, and it was walking very slow. And at first I thought it was a cat. I'm like, oh no, that's a fox. So it goes around the perimeter of our property, and sometimes we've seen both of them at nighttime, and they'll go slowly walking around the perimeter of our property, not to make our dogs bark. And there's several different colors of fox that live in our area, and there's a red fox, which I've seen, and another one is like a more brownish colored body. And once I saw one that was trapped in a cage of a friend's house, and it hissed just like a cat and growled, and it was something you don't want in your house. I had another friend who one time she had a cat door, and a fox came chasing her cat through that door. Foxes are also very adaptable, so they can live in the countryside, and they can live in mountains and also farmlands. And foxes are only a little bit bigger than cats, and that's why I mistake that one for a cat. And they weigh only 7 to 15 pounds, and a fox has very sensitive whiskers, just like a cat. Also, foxes don't live that long. I believe it's only about 5 years that foxes live for. Another bird that we have in our backyard is a mother turkey, and she feels very safe in our backyard too. And she picks up seeds and insects from the ground, and she also I feel she feels connected with my voice. So whenever the dogs bark at her, I tell them, "Don't bark at Mother Turkey," and the turkey just slowly walks away. And then at nighttime she'll fly up way up high in one of the trees, and she goes to sleep. One time we had a neighbor at our house that had 2 mother turkeys, and one mother turkey was leading the babies, and the other mother turkey was trailing way behind the other turkeys. And so there was a cat, and the cat decided, oh boy, I'm going to be really smart. I'm going to get one of these turkeys. And so the cat didn't realize that the mother turkey has these big claws. And so as the cat got closer, the mother turkey turned around and flew at it with the claws, and that cat really ran away. Another interesting story too in history, Ben Franklin wanted the turkey to be made the symbol of America instead of an eagle. The turkey is also lays up to, I think, 10 to 14 eggs. I mentioned that. Also, one time when I was walking behind a mother turkey and her group of babies that weren't full grown, I was really surprised when they flew into the bushes, and I didn't even know that. You know, these little baby turkeys can fly into the bushes. But the only thing is I don't like about turkeys that they can really mess up your garden because, you know, they're trying to look for bugs. And I'm glad that our garden's now fenced in. Another animal that's really interesting that lives on our property and also our neighbor's property are jackrabbits. And especially what I like is their really long ears. And I really enjoy watching them hop because they are really fast. And if I'm really quiet, they will stay still for a short period, but otherwise they're very speedy at jumping away. And jackrabbits grow about 2 or 3 feet length, and they can weigh up to 4 to 9 pounds. And they have long black tipped ears, and their tail is really short and black. That's in the upper side, white on the underside. And jackrabbits are not only rabbits, but they are actually called hares, since hares are the ones that have the long-tipped black ears and short tails, and jackrabbits are usually more active during the night. They also like to eat grass and some types of seeds and grain, but farmers don't like jackrabbits, as they eat up to 1 pound of their crops per day. And I've seen jackrabbits jump pretty high when I startled them. They said they can leap up to 10 feet. I haven't seen that. And they jump, but they do run in a zigzag manner, which discourage the coyotes, foxes, and even the hawks from catching them. And jackrabbits live in a very shallow underground covering, making it a great covering so other animals like coyotes have a difficult time discovering them. And another interesting fact about jackrabbits is they stomp the ground trying to scare away their predator from catching it. Jackrabbits only live also for about 5 years. Short life, just like the fox. Another bird that I share with the neighbors are quails. And I really love to see the quail and the mother with their little group of babies running around and flying around. The quails are also very quick moving birds, and they love to eat berries and seeds and small insects. And the quail is the California state bird. The female quail can lay up to 28 eggs. Can you believe that? And sometimes the mother quail will lay her eggs in other birds' nests. I wonder what that other mother bird thinks when that quail hatches, when all those little baby quails hatch and grow up in their nest. Unfortunately, the quail has many predators. They have bobcats, coyotes, squirrels, great horned owls, skunks, snakes, and also cats. So that's why they have to lay all those eggs, have all those babies. Another type of wild animal we see in here is coyote. Ow! And I remember one time going to work at school, and it was in the country, and as I got out, I quickly got back in the car because there's a huge coyote, a male coyote by the trash cans, and it really frightened me. So I waited for quite a while till it went away. The second experience I had with a coyote is when my husband and I were sleeping in the back of a truck, and a family of coyotes walked by our truck with all their little babies, and they're going yip 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 yip, and we just kind of lay still because that was a pretty big group of coyotes that went by. And my third experience I had with coyotes was at my present house, and we had 2 birds that were sitting at the railing of our deck, and one of our cats was sitting on the deck, and my dogs were starting to bark, and I saw the coyote run through the yard, but those little birds felt safe with my dogs, I guess, barking. It was so funny to see. And one thing about coyotes is they usually avoid people. Another interesting fact is they can run up to 65 miles per hour. And coyotes aren't too choosy about food. They will eat fruit, grass, vegetables, besides many different kinds of small animals. They also like to dig up plants in the garden and eat fruits out of the garbage cans, which I saw. That's why I saw that one big, huge male, and also different little animals and snakes and lizards. We've also had 2 brief experiences with mountain lions. When we lived in Lake Wildwood, I woke up one morning, got up, and I looked out the window and I saw a huge mountain lion walking on our property. So I woke up my husband and to wake him up to see this mountain lion. And later on, that mountain lion got hit by a car, and that's frightening because when they can't catch a deer, then they're very dangerous for us. So fortunately, our neighbor saw the mountain lion probably about a month later, and it was eating a deer in the bush. So we were all happy. And the other time we had an experience with the mountain lion was when our dog Tova was inside our house with her puppies, and a mountain lion was in the neighborhood and had injured another little dog. And so it tried to get our other neighbor's dog and then walked by our house, and our dog Tova had puppies at that time, and so she growled, she went, really loud. So I'm thankful to God for all these wonderful wildlife we have. Thank you for listening.